Small contractors trying to meet the challenges of reopening are getting some help from a Roxbury nonprofit and the life science industry. Grants of as much as $2,500 will be provided by a relief fund for small firms owned by women and people of color. To tell us about the fund, in partnership with Life Science Cares, is our guest from the Madison Park Development Corporation, the Workforce Diversity Project Manager, Katrina Conrad. Thank you very much for being with us, Katrina.
Thank you, Mr. Lover, for having me on today. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity that we would love to share with everyone in your viewing and listening audience. Thanks.
Well, this is an important topic to the community here in Boston, not only because of the contractors who might be struggling right now, but their employees. Can you tell me a little bit more about who they are and what kind of work they do?
Sure. So the number of minority contractors that we are actually focusing this particular initiative for, they come from painting backgrounds, drywall installation, final and general cleanup. We've even identified a small pool of general contractors who are out here doing private work for homeowners. So this particular pool of minority contractors who are in need of this particular financial assistance, it actually kind of varies in the industry as far as building trades is concerned.
Well, jobs of these contractors, you can say it's just another way to make money, but what I'm reading here between the lines is that this is about turning people's lives around too, isn't it?
That's exactly right. In most instances, these individuals who are working for these contractors are truly making a livable wage. They've had a number of barriers, if you will, whether it was their Corey backgrounds, it could be a lack of adequate child care, flexibility with their hours, if you will, and these particular contractors offers those particular benefits to make it easier for individuals from these communities to obtain employment with them. And we want to ensure that their employment is more long-term, if you will.
Well, speaking of barriers, there have also been barriers for many of these small businesses when it comes to getting some of the other forms of relief that were being provided by the government. What were those barriers?
Those funds are competitive, right? And when you think about the pool of minority and women-owned contractors that we work with, they're small in numbers. And when you compare it to their non-minority counterparts, non-minority counterparts, they're highly outnumbered. So in most instances, they may not qualify just based on the initial requirements, tax forms, formal payroll records, things of that sort. And if it's a first come, first served basis, they're already outnumbered just based on a lot of those contractors getting the information at the last minute, right? So if you're the last person to apply, in most instances, you're going to be turned away because of your non-minority counterparts having that information immediately.
And if I'm not mistaken here, I think a lot of those contractors who did get the money, they had these long, pretty solid relationships with private lenders too, didn't they?
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And we all know most of our minority contractors have faced discrimination in the credit market, right? So this just simply added a whole nother hurdle for them. And our business is very dependent on utilizing the procurement of more minority and women-owned businesses. So this particular program or this initiative simply just ensures that we have that pipeline or that pool of minority contractors to turn to.
Well, let's fast forward here because we've gotten to the point here where things are starting to reopening. There's work to be done, opportunities for the contractors, but getting the work done and doing it safely, that's a challenge. So how does this fund help them with that?
So in most instances, the immediate need in order to return back to work was identifying PPE, the personal protective equipment. And in most instances, we all can definitely testify to this. Those prices for this particular equipment has just surged dramatically. But in order for you to remobilize on the construction sites, you got to have access to this equipment. You got to have a pool of money available to pay your employees for the work rendered over the time that they, started work again. So these funds are just simply there to allow the contractors to have access to funds to purchase the necessary equipment, to retain money in their account, to pay their workers for coming out to perform the work that's necessary at the different sites.
Well, it seems that $2,500 wouldn't go very far in time because I think there are going to be at least several months of needing special equipment like this. But I
Exactly.
guess, is this more like a bridge loan, except that you don't have to get back?
Well, it's a one-time relief grant, right? No need to pay it back. However, I do notice that some businesses are will need far more than $2,500. I'm still considering all applications of all asks, right? So if there is a need and you are interested in applying for the grant and you foresee $5,000 as being necessary versus the 2,500, we're still considering all those applications because we understand each business has a different need, right? And it's all done on a case by case.
One of the things I'm curious about here is that we're in a crisis right now, but I imagine one thing that Madison Park has been concerned with for quite a while is the racial gap in opportunities for contracting firms in Boston. Tell me a little bit about what Madison Park has been trying to do to close that gap.
So we understand the need of, first off, making sure that the minority and women-owned businesses in the greater Boston area are being considered for any opportunities that we can make available. So whether that's for consulting purposes, whether we are using or tapping into minority-owned businesses for vending purposes, we understand those members are representatives of those who are in the communities that we serve on a day-to-day basis. When we go outside of our door here in Nubian Square, we see those same individuals on a day-to-day basis. So it's important that, again, if we are in the community, we are supporting those that are in the community, that are showing others that this can be done. Achieving a part of the American dream, it can be done.
Well, one of the other things going on here is the interest in this from the life sciences industry, because before the pandemic, we still had this big construction boom. There was almost too much work to be done and not enough people to do it. And if we have a really strong recovery, couldn't we be in that situation again where there's work that needs to be done and maybe these businesses won't be able to provide the workers?
Well, Madison Park currently, we've actually rolled out a training program thanks to with the assistance of Life Science Cares. We started a construction workforce training program that will allow us to continue to build a pipeline of qualified minority residents into the construction industry. Currently, the city of Boston has benchmarks of 51% Boston residents, 40% people of color, and 12% women engaged on all of their projects. We too at Madison Park believe in meeting and or exceeding those particular benchmarks on all of our projects. So in order for us to continue to do our work, as far as continue to build the affordable housing that we're offering in the greater Boston area, we need to continue to build that pipeline of available workers so we can introduce them to those hiring contractors and continue to simply build a pipeline of future contractor or business owners that are from our neighborhoods.
Well, when you talk about building the pipeline, this isn't just about giving a contract or even a job to somebody.
That's right.
You're preparing people to go to the next level. How does that work exactly?
So if nothing else, we love partnering or we love identifying other agencies and organizations who too are interested in building that pipeline. The City of Boston's, the Economic Development Council, has ongoing programming for those who are interested in starting businesses and or careers in the building trades. So the programming that we offer here at Madison Park just simply complements what's currently being offered at a city level. So you start off with programming here at Madison Park, and eventually you're able to elevate to the programming that's being offered with the City of Boston.
Finally, we should mention that if there are any eligible businesses out there that would like to get some help from the program,
Yes.
is there a way they can follow up on that?
Yes, if nothing else, at minimum, please reach out to me via email at kconrad@madison-park.org. But more importantly, you can always visit our website at madison-park.org to obtain any additional information about this initiative or other programming that we have.